Hey guys, welcome to my video lecture. If you don't know my name already, my name is Nathan, and I want to focus on today methods of social change between entertainers and those in the public eye. In 2010, Kanye told XXL magazine, "I am where art meets commercial, the sweet spot between hood and Hollywood." To me, this quote shows his knowledge of his two sides. He's a clear part of a machine meant to sell tickets, items such as clothing and other merchandise for his tour, but at the same time, he still falls back on his roots as a young Black American man. As his discography and his actions have progressed, his distaste with his participation in this kind of machine has become clear. Everybody's aware of the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards when he cut off Taylor Swift to talk about how great Beyonce's video was. And just a few years later, he released the music video for Famous, which shows several political, economic, and social elites in bed together naked. Now, well, they're all just wax figurines. It does kind of demonstrate Kanye's distaste with being a member of the system he's a part of. For my first point of discussion, I kind of want y'all to think about whether or not these actions that kind of spark controversy and are really made for shock factor, do they really promote social change, or do they just make Kanye look like a crazy guy with no direction? Now, while Kanye is definitely one of the loudest and most outspoken commentators on social structure, it's really a common trope within the hip-hop and rap community. We looked at Killer Mike's Reagan in class, and here's a clip from that song.
Let the police terrorize whoever, but mostly black boys, but they would call us niggas and lay us on our belly while they fingers on their triggers. They boots was on our head, they dogs was on our crotches, and they would beat us up if we had diamonds on our watches, and they would take our drugs.
Now, the Killer Mike song might seem a whole lot more deep than what Kanye is putting out, but arguably, it's two methods of getting the same idea across. So while Kanye chooses to go for the art and the shock factor, Killer Mike embraces something that people are familiar with already, and that's old school rap. So for another discussion point, which one of these two ideas or methodologies seems like it's more likely to promote social change? Which one seems like it's more effective, and why? In the past, if you look at Kanye and Killer Mike, people who, well, one is embracing. There's kind of a dichotomy there that I think has existed in the past. If you look at Kanye, he's got his label, Good Music, which stands for Getting At Our Dreams, and they are a group of mostly, if not all, minority American men, and they're focused on producing music for the greater culture. Killer Mike, on the other hand, as we have looked at, owns several small businesses and barbershops in order to connect with the people. Now, this kind of reminded me of the relationship between W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington, because W.E.B. Du Bois supported the idea of the talented 10th, that they could, in the post-Civil War era, that they could elevate the entirety of black culture by taking a small group of them and getting them educated and making them successful, and then in turn the rest of the culture would follow them due to the access that they now have due to the people that came before them. Booker T. Washington, on the other hand, was in support of small business, and he was in support of doing things that the entire culture could receive. And so I just thought that dichotomy was interesting. So looking at the past and looking at now, which one of these methods do we think is more appropriate for eliciting social change? Because now that we have this dichotomy, we've kind of seen it before. So what do you think is more effective? Now, back to Kanye. You know, Kanye does have a braggadocious side, and membership in the hip-hop and rap community almost necessitates it sometimes. Still, even Killer Mike, Kanye, rappers like to point out in their music how it's their group really against the world, and how there's people who want to tear them down. For Kanye, his album Yeezus was really a breakthrough in this factor. For one, there's the song New Slaves.
Like the New World Order. Meanwhile, the DEA teamed up with the CCA. They try and lock people up. They try and make new slaves. See, that's that probably on prison. Get your peace today.
In this clip, he brings up CCA, which is a private correctional firm, basically runs private prisons throughout the United States. Now, we also looked at Killer Mike's Reagan, and on Reagan, Killer Mike addresses a very similar topic.
But thanks to Reaganomics, prison turned to profits, cause free labor's the cornerstone of U.S. economics. Cause slavery was abolished unless you are in prison. You think I ambush it and then read the 13th Amendment. Involuntary servitude and slavery it prohibits. That's why they giving drug offenders time in double digits. Ronald Reagan.
So these two guys are getting the same point across. They're both trying to promote social change for the black and minority communities in this country. So, for a final question, should they alter or maintain their methods, or should they continue doing what they're doing? Do you think they should come together as a more unified force rather than taking two drastically different approaches? Let me know what you think. Thank you.